How is everyone doing today? And it's been some time. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't had the chance to record a video for Zenless for a very long time, so that is my bad. I do intend on coming full swing for the next patch whenever we have that live stream, because I know it's coming very soon, and I'll have that video out for the live stream. I'll be able to talk about all the stuff in regards to the characters currently out and all that different type of stuff. But today's video gonna be a little bit of an easier one, just to get me back into the steam of things when it comes to Zenless. My bad for taking that very long break for no reason. That is my bad. But going into the tier list or Zenless, we're going to be looking at some of the tier placements. Anything I gotta say, because I still have been playing the game, don't get me wrong, I still got all the characters and played the game for the most part. In regards to the meta, I really do want to see what Pride has changed ever since I've been gone. So we got to see where these characters have been at. I don't remember if I did one for Bernice. I don't even remember if I did one for Caesar either. So we are definitely going to be looking into this and giving my thoughts on it. But let's go ahead and start talking about, let's say, Anomaly DPS, because of course that's the name of the game at the current moment. By far some of the strongest teams in the game, which Anomaly, I've been saying it since the start of the game, has been overtuned, is overtuned, and is still one of the craziest teams out in the game right now, just because of the absurd amount of damage, and especially with the addition of Bernice now being able to do sub DPS off field. Yeah, some crazy stuff to happen in regards to a lot of the meta right now. But going into Bernice, she is in tier 0, 100% makes sense. Going there with Jane makes 1000% sense. I think these two right now are just so insane in regards to the damage they do, and then pairing them up even more so, even crazier. So right now Bernice has been really nice in regards to where she's at. She's gonna be tier 0 for like the rest of eternity, unless there's more characters that come out that are able to do off-field DPS, because that is a very important thing. She's able to do really quick burns, she's able to do really nasty reactions, and not only that, she has the ability to do off-field DPS in the form of the burn or the afterburn that she has, and then also her ultimate, which allows her to do her ultimate plus switching a character while she's doing it, allowing for double the DPS to happen. So I think it's a really cool thing to happen when you basically have these all together. And then going into it, Jane is in tier 0 with her, makes 1000% sense. We have Piper and also Grace. Now, realistically, I'm not gonna lie to you, I do feel like Piper should be moved up one, only because physical anomaly is just so strong right now. I don't think a lot of the reactions in the game kind of compare to physical anomaly, and not for the most part. Piper, and this is M6 Piper, which I see that they changed the eidolons, or they changed the dupes to give out the M6s. M6 Piper is kind of nasty, and especially when you look at what characters have come out, her passive is going to be absurd. She has the power passive where if she has faction based allies, which are Bernice and Caesar and Piper for the most part, or not Piper, Lucy, my bad, you are able to give off a damage boost to the whole team. And this is going to be giving someone like Bernice some damage, is going to be giving someone like Piper that damage, and you're able to just instantly be able to get these disorders off because of how fast Piper gets her reactions off and how fast Bernice is able to get hers off too. So with the recent additions of a lot of the Sons of Kaladin faction characters, and with another one coming down the line, which Slider, I can 100% see someone like Piper being moved up to 0.5 versus someone like Grace, because Grace realistically just hasn't had a lot of buffs at the current moment besides one character that's come out, which kind of sucks for her for the most part. So I do think Piper should be moved up to 0.5, and that's pretty much it already for the Anomaly DPSs. While we are talking about Bernice, let me go ahead and tell you about our sponsor today, which is Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN service that keeps your privacy and information safe 24/7, keeping you and all your info protected from anyone trying to get their hands on it. And this is possible with Surfshark's ability to allow you to browse the web while encrypting your internet activity. Another benefit of Surfshark is being able to game safely, and as we all know, there are some people that take the game a little too seriously. I like to play Tekken on my off time, and with Surfshark's ability to change my location at the whim, this prevents a lot of dangers that can happen without Surfshark's protection, like swatting, DDoS attacks, and so much more. So now I can game in peace without having to worry about a butthurt player taking things a little too far. And this isn't all that Surfshark has to offer. Surfshark can also be used on any device, including your phone and PC, and has 24/7 customer service, allowing any problem that you have to be resolved instantly when you need it. Now, if this all interests you, make sure to go try their risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee, and you can try it out and see if you like it in the link in my description, pinned comment, or by going going to surfshark.com/ZenlessREHOO. Thank you guys so much at Surfshark for sponsoring this video, and let's get right back into the video. Going into the actual DPSs, Ellen and Zhuyin at the very top. I honestly want to put Ellen in 0.5, but I do think it's a little too early to do so, just because Ice is still such a really great team, especially if you have all the characters, like having an M6 Sokaku, having Lycan, having Ellen. These are still really great characters, but I do think Zhuyin just, man, I think she just has so much damage on her that Ellen just can't compete with it, especially when you start putting her best team in the game, which is Qingyi and Nicole. Ooh, yeah, you're doing some nasty damage to these characters. So I don't know. Right now, I do think that Zhuyin should be alone and Ellen should be moved down one, but because it's so early in the game, I can't believe we're still this early going into what, 1.3? I think it's kind of insane to think about it. I do think we could keep them together at the top just because these are just the only DPSs and there's kind of a lot of stuff to happen. 0.5 doesn't have anyone, but we do have Soldier in tier 1. I do believe Soldier has had enormous buffs with having Bernice coming onto the game, having someone like Caesar come out into the game. Really good stuff for her because Caesar's able to give that invulnerable shield. You're able to get that damage boost. Someone like Bernice is able to give you the burn, which allows the relic set that gives you the crit rate to proc instantly, which is so good for her. So there's a lot of really good stuff that comes with these characters that have been coming out that have indirectly buffed out Soldier 11, which is a really great thing to see, and she's actually a really nice character to use. One of the stronger DPS in the game for sure. And going further down, we have Nekomata, Billy, and Anton together. Wow. I can already say a change. Move Soldier 11 to 0.5, Nekomata to tier 1. There is in no way, shape, or form I'm putting Anton and Billy next to Nekomata, especially again, like I said, having Nekomata on the team. You're able to use assault, you're able to use the physical reaction, which is just so strong right now, and she just has a lot of really good damage, especially if you have the steel cushion. You get the back attacks that give the extra damage. If I'm not wrong, you can correct me in the comments if I'm incorrect. But this also opens up other avenues besides her main DPS team. She can be put on a team with Jane because Jane does allow other physical characters to be able to proc the crit assaults, which are very strong. And to be able to do that with Jane Doe and having Nekomata, you kind of have two different forms of DPSs alongside whatever other character you want to put on the team, whether it be Bernice, whether it be Seth. A lot of other characters that can work if you were to run this team, which it's a little bit of a funner team, not really a fully meta team for the most part. But I don't agree that Billy and Anton are in the same world as Nekomata in regards to DPS. I do think that she edges out over them in regards to DPS. And then Soldier 11 for the most part has been getting way too many buffs with, you know, Bernice's edition. We have Caesar's edition, which is all really good stuff. So move her up one, move Nekomata up one. I think this should be fine. Billy, Anton, haven't seen a lot of crazy play. This is M6 Anton and also Billy, so realistically I have no idea how absurd these characters get at M6 in my honest opinion. Haven't tried them out at M6. So if that is the case, like they're super busted at M6 Billy and Anton versus an M0 Nekomata, then by all means let me know how busted these guys are. Maybe I'll build them out. We have no idea, especially with the resource drop. Holy crap, there's a lot to worry about in regards to wanting to build characters. But seeing Corn at the bottom, Sag, that's kind of crazy. One of my favorite characters, and she's all the way at the bottom. Going into stun, of course, Shingi's gonna stay where she's at. Stun damage multiplier, really easy to stun, really fast to stun. Has a lot of invulnerability frames in her kit, which make her absolutely god tier in regards to dodging. Lycan is there, same deal, stun damage multiplier, and also being able to stun very quickly, having a lot of invulnerability frames on his skill, which is really cool. Ambi and Coleta being in tier 1. This is M6 Ambi, so I can 100% see that Coleta and Ambi are together. Realistically, they're just going to be stuck together for the most part, and they're never going to be above Lycan and also Qingyi, just because they don't have stun damage multipliers. They don't have a way to give extra damage to their teammates, which is a pretty big deal, especially in the long scheme of things when looking at DPS. If you don't have that stun damage multiplier, can't really do much with that stunner. Ambi's still really good character regardless, really fast and stunning. We also have Coleta being really nice for her team as well. Very limited though, in my honest opinion. So realistically, they're going to be stuck there for the most part just because they don't have their own stun damage multiplier, which is going to be very strong. And if I'm not wrong, Lighter is supposed to have the stun damage multiplier. potentially, because he is going to be a stunner. I might be wrong. It might have like went to the back of my head if he does or doesn't, because realistically he's going to be a stun character, I think. I remember there was times where people thought he's going to be an attack character, but I think he is a stun character. And if he doesn't come out with a stun damage multiplier, he has to do something crazy to be able to be better than Chingy, or at that be better than Lycan if you don't have a stun damage multiplier. So we're gonna have to wait and see how that's going to work. And then for the support tab, I think this is by far like the hardest tab to look at, just because support is so crazy in this game in regards to some of the characters that are out, and a lot of people are not looking at these characters in my opinion the right way. Caesar being tier 0 without a doubt. I think she will be here for like almost all the game's lifespan. She's just so good. Invulnerable shield, that's really freaking good. You don't have to worry about getting staggered, which you can just keep doing DPS, which is really good for her. You also have high stun damage, or high stun addition to the stun bar, really crazy for her. And then a damage boost, which is insane, and defense reduction as well, if I'm not wrong, which is kind of absurd for her to have like every single portion of everybody's kit inside this one character. And if you put her with someone like Bernice, you already activate that passive. If you put her with Jane, that's an enormous amount of anomaly buildup, which she can start doing the crit. She can do the crit. It's absolutely absurd. So yeah, Caesar is going to be a tier 0 support for the end of time. She's just such a great character and really strong character for Zenless. And yeah, she's going to be there for a minute. I do think Nicole still needs to be tier 0. What are we doing? It's been so freaking long. After I've been saying this for so long, that Nicole is just busted. I don't see why we're not putting her in tier 0. She has a nasty defense drop, which makes her basically universal to whatever team you want to put her on. She has the ether damage bonus when she does get paired up with other characters that are ether. So someone like Zhu Ying gets that nasty buff. She has this is also showing that Nicole has her signature, which is a 4-star, because realistically, as these tier lists go, it's usually free 5-star, or it's for their signature W engine when it comes to being a 4-star. So Nicole also has a team-wide damage boost on top of the relic set that gives another damage boost, and it gives gather. I don't know why we're still putting Nicole in 0.5. She needs to be bumped up to tier 0. It's been so freaking long since I've been saying this. Let's stop. She's not 0.5. And yes, I know this means I'm putting Nicole and Caesar in the same spot, but that doesn't diminish how strong Nicole is. Caesar can still be God tier, but Nicole can be God tier 2 in her own right. I don't think putting Nicole up here undervalues Caesar in any way, shape, or form. I do think Nicole is a must build character, and you move her up and these two characters share the spot. It's honestly not that hard in my opinion to see this. Lucy and also Sokaku being 0.5. Sokaku's M6 and Lucy's M6, so this is a big deal. Lucy has been getting a lot of buffs with Bernice, Caesar, lighters coming out, so I can see why she's in 0.5. And Sokaku has just been very static when it comes to having Lycan, having Ellen. Really good ice team, really synergistic ice team. She is M6, so she is going to be giving quite a bit of boost, and also she has her own damage as well, which is really nice to see. So other than that, that's pretty much it. Seth being this far down is crazy. Especially that we're in the anomaly meta that we are right now. Seth gives a crap ton of buffs when it comes to anomaly proficiency, anomaly buildup, has his own anomaly buildup. M6 gives guaranteed crit, so you're going to be doing a nice chunk of damage with Seth as well. So I would honestly move Nicole up, let Seth take the spot. Rena, don't know much about Rena. There was a lot of say that her buffs don't work, a lot of say that her buffs suck. This really does suck for Rena, because realistically the shock team doesn't work out. There's no mono lightning team that's out right now. The mate team doesn't really function that well, especially when you can just rock Sokaku and have a much bigger boost than someone like Rena. So they have to do something with Rena, either making the penetration stat way better. They either have to make her easier to use in regards to having her buff uptime longer than Sokaku. I don't know. For a 5-star, she's just very underwhelming right now, which does suck. And then Ben at the bottom tier. Let's go. No, just kidding. I'm always a fan of Ben slander, even though like I know he's a pretty good character, but it's just funny to see Ben being at the very bottom. Realistically, I'd put Rena and Ben together and call it a day. Like realistically, there's not a lot of play for Ben. That is now that basically Soldier 11 has her new team with having Bernice and Caesar, which is a really good team overall. But other than that, it's not really much else to change. That's pretty much it when it comes to the tier list for Zenless Zone Zero. A lot of characters I would like to see moved around. Soldier 11 be moved up one, Snekomana moved up one, Piper moved up one, we have Nicole being moved up one, and then maybe squish these two together because they're kind of like in the same spot where they're not really being used because a lot of stuff is hindering them in regards to newer teams, newer characters, all the different type of stuff. There's just a lot of stuff to look at. But other than that, that's gonna be it for this video when it comes to the current tier list for Zenless Zone Zero. Again, my bad for the long break. Hopefully y'all welcome me back with open arms. It'll take some time for me to get back into the swing of things, but hopefully I'm able to cover content for the next patch coming in, which is Lighter and Yanagi, which I'm very excited for the most part. So expect more videos on the channel. Same thing goes for my other channel, which is Star Wars. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next one, and peace.